Let's take another look at what happens when someone stops valuing you. That feeling, it's frustrating and painful, isn't it? You might find yourself questioning your actions or trying to figure out where things went wrong. It's natural to want to fix it, to try harder, and to prove your worth. But what if the real solution isn't in doing more, but in stepping back? What if pulling away is the key to changing the way they see you and, more importantly, the way you see yourself? When someone no longer appreciates your presence, your first instinct might be to overcompensate. You might start making yourself more available, offering more of your time, or going out of your way to help. But here's the surprising truth. The more you give in these situations, the less others tend to value it. Why? Because people naturally take what's always available for granted. Instead of trying harder, the most powerful thing you can do is to pause and pull back. Yes, step away. This doesn't mean disappearing completely or giving someone the silent treatment. It's about creating space. When you step back, you give others the chance to notice your absence, to realize what you bring to the relationship, and to reflect on what they might lose if they don't start valuing you. This concept applies to all kinds of relationships: romantic, familial, friendships, even professional. The dynamic often shifts when you change how much energy you're putting into a connection. The more you give without boundaries, the easier it is for others to overlook your efforts. But when you redirect your energy toward yourself, something transformative happens. Pulling back isn't about being cold or distant. It's about focusing on you. Spend time on your goals, your passions, and the things that bring you joy. By investing in yourself, you not only remind yourself of your value, but also project confidence and independence. That shift in energy is often enough to make people take notice. They may start asking themselves, what's different? Why aren't they as available as before? And in that moment, they begin to see your worth more clearly. But here's the important part. Stepping back isn't a tactic to get someone's attention or make them miss you. It's about shifting the focus back to your own well-being. It's about reclaiming your power and breaking free from the cycle of seeking external validation. This process is as much about you as it is about them, if not more. When you redirect your energy inward, you create space for growth. You start to see things differently. Instead of chasing after people who don't appreciate you, you naturally attract those who do. People are drawn to self-assuredness and independence, and when you embody those qualities, you set a new standard for how you deserve to be treated. Think about it. How often do we give away our energy, time, and attention to people who don't reciprocate? We tell ourselves it's because we care, but the truth is, it's often rooted in a need for validation. We want to feel needed or valued, and we think the way to achieve that is by giving more. But the reality is, overgiving can dilute your value in others' eyes. Stepping back allows you to recalibrate. It's a way of saying, I value myself enough to prioritize my own needs. And that's not something you have to announce. It's something you demonstrate through your actions. When you take this approach, it sends a powerful message, not just to others, but to yourself. It's a reminder that your worth isn't determined by how much you give, but by who you are. The beauty of this process is that it doesn't require confrontation or dramatic gestures. It's about small but significant shifts in how you show up. Maybe it's not replying to a message the second you receive it. Maybe it's saying no to something you don't have the energy for. Maybe it's simply choosing to spend time doing something you love instead of waiting for someone else to notice you. In the space you create, others begin to see your value in a new light. It's not manipulation or a game. It's human nature. When something we've taken for granted is no longer as accessible, we start to recognize its importance. And when someone realizes they've overlooked your worth, they often take steps to restore the connection. But here's the real win. By the time they come around, you've already reclaimed your sense of self-worth, and you're in a position to decide whether their attention aligns with your standards. What's truly empowering about this shift is that it puts the focus where it belongs, on you. It's not about punishing anyone or trying to prove a point. It's about knowing your value and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. That energy, that self-assuredness becomes magnetic. It draws the right people toward you while naturally weeding out those who don't appreciate you. When you learn to step back, to prioritize yourself, and to let your actions speak louder than words, you set the stage for healthier, more balanced relationships. The people who value you will make an effort to meet you halfway, and those who don't, they'll fade into the background, leaving you with more time and energy for the things and people who truly matter. Remember, this isn't about being less, it's about being more for yourself. When you take that step back, you're not just creating space for others to realize your worth. You're also creating space for yourself to grow, thrive, and truly own your power. When someone stops valuing you, it's natural to feel hurt and question what went wrong. You might feel the urge to try harder, to give more, be more available, or prove your worth. But here's the truth. That approach rarely works. Instead of pouring more energy into someone who isn't appreciating you, the real power lies in stepping back and focusing on yourself. When you redirect your energy inward, something transformative happens. Spend time doing the things that genuinely make you happy. Reconnect with hobbies, explore new interests, and prioritize your well-being. This isn't just about distracting yourself, it's about growth. As you invest in yourself, you'll naturally become more confident and independent. These qualities are magnetic. They draw people in because confidence and self-respect are hard to ignore. The shift in dynamics begins when people notice your transformation. When you stop making yourself overly available, you create space. In that space, others start to reflect on what they've been taking for granted. It's human nature to value something more when it's no longer guaranteed. Your absence forces them to reassess your importance in their lives. Setting boundaries is a key part of this process. Often, when someone stops valuing you, it's because they've crossed an emotional line. Perhaps they've taken your kindness for granted or stopped reciprocating your efforts. Boundaries are how you teach others what you will and won't accept. This doesn't require confrontation. It's about showing through your actions that you respect yourself. For instance, if someone isn't treating you with the respect you deserve, stop overextending yourself for them. If they repeatedly overlook your needs, spend more time with people who uplift you. These subtle changes send a clear message. I value myself enough to expect better. When you set boundaries, people either rise to meet your standards or fade away. Either outcome benefits you. If they step up, it strengthens the relationship. If they step away, it creates space for healthier connections. What's truly empowering about stepping back is that it puts you in control. You're no longer waiting for someone to recognize your worth. Instead, you're showing it through the way you live. Confidence and self-assurance don't just shift how others see you, they also reshape how you see yourself. The person who didn't value you might realize their mistake and try to reconnect. If they do, you'll be in a stronger position to decide whether they deserve a second chance. On the other hand, if they don't respond, you've already reclaimed your energy and focus. Either way, you win. This approach isn't about playing games or punishing anyone. It's about respecting yourself enough to walk away from unbalanced dynamics. By stepping back and prioritizing your growth, you send a powerful message, not just to others but to yourself. You're saying, I am worth more than this. That energy is undeniable, and it attracts the right people into your life while pushing away those who don't align with your values. The truth is, people value what they fear losing. When you stop chasing after someone's attention and focus on your own happiness, you remind them of what they stand to lose. But more importantly, you remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to how someone else treats you. You deserve relationships that uplift and inspire you. And when you start valuing yourself, those relationships will naturally come your way. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to step back, prioritize yourself, and trust in your worth. Life has a way of teaching us that when we respect ourselves, others begin to respect us too. You deserve relationships that uplift, inspire, and align with the value you bring. So, don't be afraid to create space, set boundaries, and focus on your own growth. Remember, your worth isn't defined by how much you give, but by who you are. If this message resonates with you, take the first step today. Start valuing yourself and watch how the right people and opportunities come your way. And if you're ready for more insights and motivation to navigate life's lessons, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll continue this journey of growth, empowerment, and self-discovery. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.